Discover your week ahead, your daily I Ching Hexagram guide. And if you ask yourself what is I Ching, well, it's a forecast method of the Chinese Metaphysics. It has been used for thousands of years. It's based on trigrams or hexagrams, which you may or may not know from the Feng Shui or anything else. I personally use that a lot, and I must say I'm really grateful for that too. So this is my weekly I Ching reading for you, my forecast for 2024 week 27. So we're here every Sunday live, 6:15 Brisbane time, 8:15 p.m. New Zealand, 10:15 Germany, and the Americas are asleep right now, so they can watch me for breakfast. Yeah. So what we do here is we look into the energies of the year, the month, and then every single day of the week from Sunday to Sunday. Because if we know what is coming, we are so more likely to actually adapt to what is, so we can respond to what comes and we were more aware, just knowing what it is and then adapt accordingly. And adapting is this week something we really want to look at. So if you watch this on YouTube, there are probably chapters down here and in the notes, so you can come back every day on the day and listen to what I said. That's fantastic, isn't it? Because that's something that I need to do, because as I said a few times in the past, I need to listen to my own thing, to my own words just more. We all need to listen to our own insights even more. So let's see, how do we raise our energies? The year is I Ching number 38. Still, we're not even halfway through opposition, and I will make it really short because I've done it so often and so much. Opposition, so the lake and the fire apart, and that's exactly what's happening right now in the world, isn't it? There is an opposition. People can't talk to each other. Communication is getting harder, and everybody has their position, and it's really, that's what's happening. But I've talked enough about that. What happened yesterday, Saturday, we moved from the month energy, 32 consistency, to number 6 litigation, which was also yesterday's energy. So what do we have with the litigation number 6? It's also called conflict. So what we're looking at in this one is really the two halves. So it's heaven on top and water underneath. So again, we're having something that is not really working together. How do we work with that? So it's how to deal with situations where the involved parties are drifting apart, like the heaven and the water. It's drifting apart. So how do we solve that conflict, that litigation, the arguing? How do we engage in a conflict when it's drifting apart? Well, actually, if you have two positions and they're drifting apart even more, what can you do? Of course, you could meet in the middle, but then nobody wins, correct? So the actual what is supposed to be is either each single one of the persons in the conflict find a solution for themselves on their own and see how they work through it, and that is what it's supposed to be. There is always a higher solution. So if A insists on A and B insists on B, we need to find a higher solution that can solve both problems, and that can also serve the greater good. So what we're doing here is really those two halves moving away from each other. So the strength and the danger, because water, remember, always to do with abysmal, the danger. So even if you move in the middle, it's not a real solution, is it? So either you find a higher solution or you agree to disagree and everybody goes their way, parts their way. They maybe have to even find a third party, an impartial man, as they said in the books, to help them solve the conflict. And that is the motto of this month, my dear friends. This month, there might be conflicts coming up this month, and you need to decide whether it's worth fighting in it, whether it's worth going through with it, whether you want to call an impartial man, a third party, to solve it, or whether you just say, you know what, I'm gonna deal with it. I adapt. I'm gonna deal with it somehow. How to deal with the situation, that is the target. So this month, really, if conflicts are coming up, ask yourself, is it worth fighting? Do I have a solution? Can I adapt so I have a solution for myself? Or is there even a solution, a higher solution, not A, not B, but C, that serves both? So this month, really dive into your own ability to adapt, to find solutions, and solutions that serve everyone involved. And again, if you feel it's not possible, get a third party to come in. How does it sound? That's this month's energy. Well, and today's energy is called number 7, which is also called the officer. That's what it looks like. And it's not just called the officer, it's also called the army. Bringing together, leading has also to do with the number 7. What we're doing here is really how to bring many different impulses and directions into one common goal, because that's what the army needs. They need the same direction, marching together, being together. And this is why I also call that one teamwork and strategy, because the leadership, which is also in the sign, is also about strategy and strategizing. So the number 7 today is a really good day to strategize. For some of you, the day only begins, so use that. And into a common goal. It's almost like you're building an umbrella. You're building an umbrella to bring everybody else underneath together so they work together on the same goal. I forgot to say, yes, it's earth on top of water. So the water, again, a little bit of danger somewhere. But if you can bring people together, to work together, to march together, to have one voice, then this is successful. So think about co-working, think about teamwork, strategizing. That would be today's energy, Sunday. The 7th of July. Good. How do we raise our energy tomorrow, Monday? Tomorrow, Monday is 53. How does that sound? After you've brought the people together and did some co-working, gradual progress. Doesn't that sound nice? So Monday has the notion of gradual progress. So it's wind on mountain. And if you follow wind or wood on mountain, so if you follow me a while, mountain, has something to do with stillness, with going inside. And the tree on the mountain is, the wood on the mountain is, of course, growing slowly, isn't it? To really master what's happening here, to not fall downwards, to not grow in a wrong direction or anything. So that tells us that it's a gradually but slow but progress. So it's development, and there is an auspicious outlook in that. So the question is how persistence, diligence, and patience enable slow and steady progress and inner maturity. That's what I call it. So the slow and steady progress on the Monday will bring inner maturity. That's what I said with the mountain, looking inside. So the Monday energy is about slowing down for progress, going inside, listening to your own voice, listening to your heart, listening to your intuition. And don't force it. Don't make it quicker than it needs to be. It will progress. Be definitely getting into success, so you can slow down and enjoy the journey, the path. That will be how we raise our energies on the Monday. And on the Tuesday, we're having then 39 obstruction. What I say about the obstruction. So obstruction also is called halting. So it's water on mountain. So again, mountain, stillness, water, a little bit of danger. So what can this day, Tuesday, tell us? How to use an obstacle to turn inside onto your inside and to find your core. So use the obstruction that might come up on Tuesday to look inside of you and find the core of you, your motivation, why you're doing things. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? So every time an obstruction or a hindrance comes up, take time to stop and just say, okay, so why am I doing this? What is it for? That would be a good thing to do on Tuesday if there is an obstruction coming up. How to use an obstacle to turn one's attention inwards and find your core. That's what I call it. So it is about finding the core, finding the reason, finding the why. That would be to raise your energy on a Tuesday. How do we raise our energy on the Wednesday? So the Wednesday, whoops, oh, my card fell down. Oh, now you saw my background. Oh my God. So 35. Yes, 35 on the Wednesday. Because what's happening after the obstacle, we had the gradual progress, do you remember? Then the obstacle came up. And now, after we've looked inside and asked ourselves, what's my core, what's my why? This is when advancement, progress, prospering come up. Wednesday is the day to move forward. It's expansion, it's promotion, it's all of it. How to use your own success to support the greater good or for the community with others. So use the success, the knowledge, what you found to really do this. It's water on earth, by the way. So there's a little bit of danger, yes, but earth is solid. You've got the stability underneath in that hexagram. So the danger, the water that's above, that can flow, it can flow. There's not so much of a danger, it's more of a flowing. So that is what's happening on the Wednesday, correct? So, and in the project, the picture is the fire on the earth, the picture is the rising sun. So on the Wednesday, if you want to meditate, for instance, meditate on a rising sun and how that progress, that expansion comes out. Do we have a special hour for meditation? Between 11 and 1 maybe. Oh, and 7 to 9 in the evening is a good time to meditate on Wednesday. Good. So what else can I say about the progress? Expansion, I already said that. No. Oh, fire, of course, also stands for clarity. So the fire on the earth, you've got the stability underneath. You can come into clarity. And that clarity probably will bring you success. I hope you use the day before the obstacle for exactly that. Great. Okay, how do we raise our energy on the Thursday? And on the Thursday, we've got a mountain on thunder, 27, nourish. Yes. So mountain on thunder. Thunder, is about movement, moving forward, and mountain, it's about stillness. Not always, but that's the idea. So if you have this in your mind, you already know what's coming. So it's about how to imprint your life through all those daily tasks. The daily tasks that we're doing, some of them seem like, useless, or I don't like doing it, or whatever, but they do imprint your life. Whether you have a structure in your day, whether you know what you're doing on the day, this has an imprint. If you're having a bad day and you don't know what to do first, yes, of course, that also has an imprint on you. So those things, that daily tasks that you do, how do they nourish you? And the question that I always like to ask, and you know that probably by now, what does nourishment mean to you? And I will ask you again and again, what does nourishment mean to you? Physically, mentally, everything. That's what I want to ask you every time. So it's about seeking the nourishment and caring, nourishing, and also what I say, and I'd say that again and again, first yourself, then others. Because if you nourish yourself on all levels, then you can expand. We talked about the expansion yesterday, didn't we? On the day yesterday. Expansion. And for that expansion to really be sustainable and really influence other people to the best of everybody's what's happening, you need to nourish yourself and then expand it out. This is how we raise the energy. This is how we raise the vibration. Taking care of our own vibration, nourishing ourselves. Yes, being a bit selfish. Yeah, be a bit selfish. But then, not selfish, share it with others, expand out, raise the vibration of everybody else. But for that, you need to first nourish yourself with knowledge, skills, food, water, joy, love, compassion. Thursday. Friday we have number 17 following. This is what it looks like. And the following has the lake on top and the thunder underneath. So we've got some movement going on, isn't it? So it's about the joyous on top, the lake, the joyous on top, and the thunder underneath. So how develop one's own progress through adapting to the existing circumstances. So the thunder comes in, you're joyous and everything's great, and thunder comes in, whoop. And change is coming. So the book is called the Book of Changes. So here we go. Change is coming. How do you keep up being joyous? We want to stay joyous, don't we? Joyful and everything's great. And we are, because we've built up this positive energy in the last days, didn't we? But today, change is happening on the Friday. Something happens. Woof. How do we stay joyous? Adapting to what is. Yes. Adapting to what is. All the ifs and whens and how, shoulda, coulda, woulda don't help you. Change happened. Stay joyous by adapting to it. Ask yourself, what can I change? What can't I change? How do I adapt best to it? Everything else is just useless. And a question that is really good to ask if a change is knocking you off your socks and just the stability doesn't seem to be there is, how can I serve? How can I serve? The situation, something's changed, something is weird. How can I serve? The situation, that person, the planet, Mother Earth. How can I serve? How can I be of use? It's always a great question to get yourself out of something that you find yourself suddenly in and you didn't like to be there. You didn't want to be there. But it's what it is. This is exactly what it is. So adapt to it on the Friday. So, and if you do that, what's happening? Number 55, abundance. Isn't that a great reward for all the work you've done on the Saturday? So it's thunder on fire. How to enjoy the peak of a development without clinging to it. So there is a peak of development. So you've worked through the days before. You overcame the obstacles. You adapted to what is. There might have been a change, woof, and you adapted to it. So you get abundance. And then you enjoy it. Enjoy that development. Thunder on fire. So enjoy. Stay with the clarity. Fire, remember, clarity. Because, and why does it say without clinging to it? Because nothing lasts forever. So just like you adapted on the Friday to what is, on the Saturday, enjoy your efforts, your progress, and what is now. Because it might not last. Book of Changes again. And that is okay. It's there's nothing to be afraid of. Oh my God, it won't last. Afraid. No. It's okay. It's okay that it doesn't last. Because everything changes, doesn't it? That's just what it is. And after the abundance on the Saturday, what do we get next Sunday, where I will see you again exactly here? It's called number 60, regulate. And regulate is water on lake. So that is a lot of water, isn't it? So it's water on lake. And if we have a lot of water, we need to have some limitation or some discipline. So how to secure what is now? So it's again, we're talking about the here and now. Friday, Saturday, Sunday are about the here and now. Through wise arrangement to stabilize the future. So you've worked through all of that. Yesterday you had the abundance and you enjoyed the peak. So on the Sunday, it's time to stabilize what you've achieved for your future. Doesn't that all work perfectly together? You know, it's a sequence again. So, and I love this. I really love how these sequences make so much sense. And if there's so much water, maybe emotions, maybe fear, whatever, we have to have some limitations, because what the limitation do is what boundaries do, planning. If the limitation bothers you, it is effective. Because what it does, if you limit something, it makes you focus. It makes you focus. So don't see limiting as something negative. See it as focusing on the progress, on what is right now, and just going through that. And it will speed up your progress, even the focus. So we went through that week, and that is a really nice sequence. I hope you enjoyed this week. If you liked what you saw, like it, comment, tell me, write to me, whatever you want. And I will see you again next week here and now. Enjoy this week. Bye for now.